Welcome to Real Talk with Arky Jones, which is me. Today, we're going to look at kids these days. Stick with me though, it's not what you expect. You know what drives me nuts, eh? Kids these days. Oh yeah, I said it. The most played out rant of all time. But you got to hear me out, okay? These little gremlins, they're glued to the phones, aren't they, right? Watching strangers play video games on YouTube while holding a perfectly functional PlayStation controller in their hands. Like it's as if it's madness, isn't it? Really, it's like, I guess, sitting in a Ferrari while you're paying an Uber driver to take you around the block. I mean, what are you doing? When I was a kid, the only screen time I had was a static filled TV in the living room. And I don't know if you remember, guys, but you had to whack it like boom, boom, boom on the side to make it work. And I mean, that was one good thing about back in the day. You could whack shit and it would work. Yeah, you whack anything now, it just breaks. Anyway, even then, the picture looked like you'd been through a sandstorm, didn't it? You remember? And VHS as well. It was like, when you go back and watch it now, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing, you know, compared to this 4K we've got now. But you know what? We didn't care, did we? Hey, we weren't watching TV for hours anyway. We were outside. We didn't have helmets, elbow pads, parental supervision. We just grabbed whatever wheeled death trap was in the garage, flung ourselves down the nearest hill like kamikaze pilots. And that's how your character was built, yeah? And these days, kids, they won't step outside unless the Wi-Fi signal reaches the treehouse that you've built and risk assessed and managed, and you've probably got cushions and pillows and safe spaces. Anyway, don't even get me started on playdates. Honestly, playdates. I'm having trouble even to get the words out, what a playdate was when I was a kid. Was your mum kicking you out the house and yelling, "Don't come back until I call you for dinner," and there was no schedules, there was no gluten-free snack, there was no themed activities, just a stick, some dirt, maybe a dog that wasn't foaming at the mouth. And if you broke a bone, tough shit, wasn't it, eh? That's what your other bones were for. I mean, I remember one time falling off this kind of bike. We were hurtling around, and I went home and saw my dad, and my arm was kind of pointing a bit like, and he just gave me a stick and a cloth. He said, "Wrap that around. Your mum will be home in a couple of hours." And it wasn't a great thing. I wouldn't recommend it as parent of the year, but it happened. I survived. It's all right now. I think still aches a little bit, but you know what though? One thing I will tell you is complaining about kids isn't new. Nah. This whole kids thing, this whole kids these days things goes back way, way back. Yeah? Like 2,500 years ago. 2,500 years ago. Some Greek philosopher, I don't know, let's call him, Grumpicus, said that kids, he said, remember, this is 2,500 years ago. He was saying kids today love luxury. They've had bad manners. They have bad manners, contempt for authority, and they talk back to their elders. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, that's right. Even back in ancient Greece, some toga-wearing geezer was shaking his fist at the kids for not respecting the oracle of whatever. And here's the kicker. They didn't even have the modern distractions back then. What were they doing back then anyway? What were the kids doing? It was so terrible. Spending too much time carving memes into marble. Oh, these bloody kids in their constant scrolls back in the day. We've stared at the stars like men, and it's the same script. It's just different props. Back then it was slingshots and grape leaves, and now it's iPads and Fortnite. But you know what? We're just as bad. We sit around, don't we, giving kids grief for being hooked on screens. But what are we doing? Sitting on the couch watching Breaking Bad for the third time with a phone in one hand and a bloody tablet in the other, acting like we're some kind of morally superior beings. At least the kids are watching something new. Half of us are still stuck in the goddamn 90s, rewatching Friends for the 18th time. Like Ross is finally he's finally going to get his act together or something. And let's talk about spending, yeah? Let's talk about spending. We used to laugh at kids dropping real money on Fortnite for skins, yeah? Now, we're out here paying $8 for a pumpkin spice latte and $20 for some smashed Avo on toast just so that we can post a picture of it and feel validated. We've got adults paying subscriptions for apps that they haven't opened since 2019. Oh, yeah. And we'll cancel that other bloody subscription membership, hey, next month. Meanwhile, the kids buying fake armor for a fake character and actually using it. Well, they're playing the games. They're enjoying it. They might be socializing online. Who's the idiot here? You got to ask yourself, who's the goddamn idiot? Yeah. And here's where it gets rich. We act like kids invented all this nonsense, but we're the ones who gave it to them. Who bought them the iPads, yeah? Who handed them the Nintendo Switch? Who gave them the Xbox, the PlayStation, yeah? Who signed up for them to have unlimited data plans? Like, we're sitting here like, oh, these kids and their screen addiction. Yeah, we're the ones who taught them. We turned on the TV so we could have some peace and quiet after working a 10-hour day in some job that none of us like. And now we're shocked that they won't turn it off. It's like giving a dog chocolate and being surprised when he throws it up on the carpet, yeah? Do you know why? Do you know why we're really mad at kids? It's because they're better at being distracted than we are. The truth is, we're all dopamine addicts now. But these kids, they're like dopamine Olympians, aren't they, hey? They scroll through TikTok, watch Netflix, and play Minecraft at the same time. I mean, my daughter, I cannot fathom it yet. She is able to write to HD level while playing Fallout 4 and navigating her phone on some bloody app, which I don't know what the hell it is, talking to her 25 mates simultaneously. It's unbelievable. And here we are, like, at the same time, we're sitting there struggling to check our emails without getting a goddamn migraine. We're jealous. And that's what it's about. They've mastered the art of wasting time. And sometimes I think that we hate them for it, hey. It's not right, but it's true. Think about it. Think about what I've said. It's you. It's us that have created this. The truth is, every generation thinks the next one is doomed. Your grandparents thought your parents were useless. Your parents thought you were an idiot. And now, here we are. Here we are. We're looking at our kids like they're the end of civilization. But guess what? Society's still here. And these kids, they're going to grow up. They're going to figure it out and then spend their adult lives complaining about their kids. Yeah, if we're lucky, with the birth rate the way it is and all that. But, my son spends all day in virtual reality. This is the next generation, isn't it, hey? That's what they're going to be complaining about. My son spends all day in a hepatic vast in virtual reality, hanging out with his AI friends. Back in my day, we had real phones and real friends. And it's like, get off your fucking high horse, all right? It never ends. The only difference is what we're addicted to. Kids want TikTok. We want caffeine. And our parents wanted peace and quiet. Nothing changes, man. Nothing changes. Thank you for listening. Hope this was a bit of fun for you. Couple of reality checks in there as well. The game's rigged, man. We all know it. Make sure you play it wisely. Thanks for listening. I'm Arky Jones. Please like, subscribe, comment. Peace, man. Peace. Peace.